Hello? Okay. It's working.
Sorry, technical things. Okay, we were on the stage monitoring the hazardous fire. So we say boo. And also we say that without putting any permanent protection in place to help tenants and homeowners in New York City. Tenants are now have to go to court and fight their eviction. Is that fair?
Hello? Hello? Okay. That ain't right, right? Boo! Right? Tenants are not at work. Tenants are still being pushed out of their apartments. Tenants are getting eviction notices. And tenants are being bullied, right? Sometimes landlords didn't even get the right eviction notice to kick them out. They're being pushed out their apartment without a real eviction notice. That ain't right. They still have not heard back from ERAP, Emergency Rental Assistance Program. That ain't right. There's still not enough funding in ERAP to even pay for tenants' rent. That ain't right. Folks are still applying. It's not enough money. Folks are still out there trying to scrape up their last ends to put food on their plate, which is not fair. We're out here today to put a foot on their neck and let them know it's time. We need more funding. We need it now. We don't need to be pushed out of our apartment. We need a permanent solution. We need good cause eviction to be passed today. Not now, today. Right? What do we want? Good cause eviction. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
shut it down.
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 I said if we don't get it.
Shut it down.
Thank you, thank you.
Buenos días, compañeros y compañeras. Buenos días. We're here. Estamos aquí al frente del Tribunal de la Vivienda. Como ustedes saben, la gobernadora Kathy Hochul dejó que vencieran la moratoria. La jefa de desalojo le llamamos. Ha permitido que se venza, sin incluir que no hay ninguna protección permanente para ayudar a los inquilinos y a los neoyorquinos que tienen sin hogar. Los neoyorquinos ahora tienen que ir a la corte a pelear por su caso de evicción. Eso no es justo, ¿verdad? No. Como estaba diciendo la compañera, queremos más recursos para IRA, para todas las aplicaciones. Nuestros compañeros necesitan esa ayuda y que tengamos una casa permanente sin ocuparlos de cualquier importancia de estatus o de economía o porque hemos estado enfermos.
Right, them landlords can evict them tenants for no reason. Without good cause eviction that can protect tenants to stay in their home, they can just push them out. Oh, I don't like you. They can drop up the rent from 50% to 80%, even to 100%. It's a reasonable way to evict a tenant. That ain't right. That ain't right. There are 4 million people that have been based off there and been pushed out for no reason. 4 million tenants. 4 million tenants been pushed out for no reason. They don't have a real cause. That's why we want to push. We want to push a bill that can help tenants. We want to make sure that they can stay in their apartment. Good cause eviction can make sure protect a tenant. It will give them a cause to go to court, so that the landlord will have them a real cause to explain. It will give them a chance to explain their story to why they got to stay in court. I'm sorry, I'm going long with that. Sorry.
Before we do that, someone request if you can please wear the helpful mask. As you can see here, if you have one, just wear it, please. And then we'll try to summarize whatever the compañera say here. Tenemos que, sí, queríamos saber si ustedes pueden poner las máscaras ahora que hicieron las compañeras, entonces, para que estamos haciendo esta marcha a la gobernadora, para que ella se sienta un poco atacada, como nosotros estamos siendo atacadas en nuestras viviendas. Entonces, lo que estaba diciendo la compañera es que the good cause eviction los protegería a millones de neoyorquinos. Tenemos a 4 millones de neoyorquinos que no tienen derecho o un proceso para pelear contra su casero. ¿Eso es justo? Los caseros pueden incrementar la renta a 50%, 80%, 100%. Y usan esta manera para sacarlos de nuestras casas. ¿Eso es justo? Pasando la ley de Go-Cost protegería a estos 4 millones de neoyorquinos que están viviendo y que están pasando por el proceso de ser desalojados de sus casas.
Thank you.
We're going to call the first speaker from Flatbush Tenants Union, Ms. Peter Albert. If you're here, please come up. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
You don't want it.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I see you wonderful, beautiful people out here today. Yeah, and we're out here because we're fighting.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, right? We're fighting because yeah, we're out here because we're fighting to be safe in our homes. Okay. Good morning. I'm Fidel Albert, and I'm a tenant leader with the Flatbush Tenant Coalition and many other organizations. I'm here to let my voice be heard and to share my story. I'm looking to abolish all evictions forever, be it winter or else. We need more money in the era. We need state right to counsel. We need to stop no-cost eviction. We need to stop the court and cases and hearing from evicting people. I live in an apartment above the storefront in Flatbush, where I rent a room. In early 2020, the leaseholder decided he doesn't want me there anymore. He wanted to rent the room to someone else who could pay more rent. He started to harass me. He locked me out from the bathroom from July of 2020 until January of 2021 when I got the court order, right? He locked me out of the apartment. He yelled and screamed at me with profane language, right? He turned off the electricity everywhere in the apartment except his room using the circuit breaker. He threatened me and I went near the circuit breaker. He threatened me when I went near the circuit breaker. I took him to court and the judge told him that he has to stop harassing me. He ignored the court order, right? Right. Recently, I lived without electricity from last year, July, to yesterday. Right? Woo! Yeah. No light in my room, no light in the bathroom, no light in the kitchen. I can't even cook. Right? I couldn't even boil water or have a decent food or to warm something to drink. But I'm a fighter, and I will fight to the end. Right? What he put me through made me a half-breed, half German Shepherd and half Pit Bull. 2 weeks ago, together with group in my neighbor, like the Brooklyn Eviction Defense, in which I must give praise to, right? Crown Heights Tenant Union and Flatbush Tenant Coalition, we held a rally and speak out in front of my building, demanding that he stop harassing me and turn on the electricity. It was beautiful to see so many people there for me. The power of organizing. For the whole week after the rally, fellow fighters came to sit in front of the building to make sure that I was okay, which I greatly appreciate. Right? And then this past Sunday, we had another rally, right? All because of Brooklyn events in Crown Heights and my coalition, right? We had another rally, a large group including a lawyer with a cease and desist letter right? There was a lot of accommodation, right? The leaseholder blocked us from going into the apartment and tried to call the police. But that didn't make us stop. But we could not give up, right? We turned on the electricity back on ourselves, and even he tried to turn it on back off several times. We finally prevailed. My electricity has been back on since Sunday, right? The longest in the year. Together with my fellow fighters, we will make sure that it stays on. Why I'm here today is telling you this because I want my story to be an inspiration for others, to show that we're sticking together and we're fighting and make a difference. I will not give up how long as I'm alive. My landlord now sent me a 90 days notice to move, to leave the apartment. That I'm not going nowhere. He is retaliating against me for demanding that, no. He is retaliating against me for demanding that he stop the harassment, but I will not give up. We need to stop the no eviction. We need to stop no cause eviction so that tenants can organize and fight without fear. We need a statewide right to counsel, so all tenants must have a right to a lawyer to protect themselves, even when it comes to fighting to stop harassment, right, and to get repairs. I am proud to stand here today in front of you, right, to say we will fight, and when we fight, we win, and we will not stop fighting.
Beautiful. When we fight, we win.
When we fight, we win.
When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win.
When we fight, we win.
So he's gonna translate that real fast.
I'm gonna try to. Buenos días a todos y a todos. Yo soy una rentadora de la Flatbush Tenants Union Coalition. Flatbush Tenants Coalition, así se llama, es una organización que está en East Flatbush. Ella está acá para levantar su voz y compartir su historia. Ella está buscando para que no exista ningún desalojo en la ciudad de Nueva York, ahora ni nunca, ni algún invierno, dicen. Necesitamos dinero para Irak, necesitamos asistencia para the right to counsel cuando las personas vayan a la corte que tengan ayuda. Necesitamos pasar la ley de good cause. Necesitamos parar a la corte y escuchar a las personas que están siendo desalojadas. Yo vivo en mi apartamento de abajo, al lado de una tienda. He rentado ahí desde 2020. He estado ahí, pero mi casero me ha quitado la luz, el agua, me quitó acceso a mi baño por más de 6 meses. Me ha gritado a mí, me ha quitado la luz, me ha restringido el acceso al apartamento. Él solo tiene un cuarto y lo sigue usando atrás. No ha puesto lo llevé a la corte. Los jueces le dijeron que necesitaba parar de estar molestándome a mí y dejarme vivir, pero él siguió ignorando la corte. Más recientemente he estado viviendo por más de 8 meses sin electricidad. Eso no es justo. Sin ninguna luz en mi cuarto, ninguna luz en mi baño, ninguna luz en mi cocina, no tengo para ni calentar agua en mi casa, comida decente, algo tibio para tomar y poner en mi estómago. Estoy peleando para poner y hacer todo esto para todas las personas en Clima que están pasando por lo mismo. Hace 2 semanas, un grupo de vecinos de Brooklyn Eviction Defense, the Crown Heights Union, the Flatbush Tenant Coalition, le han ayudado a estar peleando eso y han hablado en frente de su building para demandar y exigir que su casero pare todo el acoso que le está poniendo. Es bien lindo ver cuántas personas están ahí. El poder de organizar. Por las últimas semanas de la marcha, muchas personas vinieron y se sentaron enfrente de nuestro building. y se aseguraron que yo estaba bien. El pasado domingo hubo otra marcha, un gran grupo largo de abogados de cárcel estuvieron ahí asistiéndole con una carta. Había muchos comentarios, apartamentos y policías que llamaron, pero nosotros no los vamos a rendir. Estamos peleando para que pongan la electricidad para atrás para nosotros mismos. También que pongan turnos de servicios en diferentes zonas. Gracias por compartir su historia.
We stand with you in solidarity to fight. We stand with you in solidarity to fight to keep you in your home.
Estamos con usted en solidaridad para pelear en todo el proceso que usted está haciendo para recuperar su casa de nuevo.
So we're going to call on our next speaker, Taylor.
Hi there, I'm Holden. I'm an organizer with the Brooklyn Eviction Defense and a proud communist. Something I want to talk about that I think is helpful for our action here today is the difference between private and personal property.
It's a lot.
Holden está acá,
It's a lot.
es un comunista orgulloso que está acá y él quiere distinguir una cosa que va a hacer entre la propiedad privada y propiedad personal. Entonces él quiere hacer la diferencia entre propiedad privada y propiedad personal que tienen las personas.
When we as tenants and as communists say that we call for the abolition of private property, we are not seeking to take your things. We are not asking you to give up your toothbrush or your bed or especially your home.
Cuando nosotros como comunistas y activistas estamos peleando para recuperar el acceso de la vivienda, no significa que queremos quitarles todo de su propiedad. Ningún de su propiedad.
These things, this coat, these shoes, Fidel's kitchen, your access to the bathroom are personal property. We are not against personal property. To the contrary, we as communists are staunch advocates and the real defenders of personal property, of one's ability and right to attend to their own material needs. It is in fact our antagonism and our call to abolish private property that most properly expresses this.
Él estaba diciendo que cuando ellos pelean por el acceso de los zapatos, de la cocina de la persona Fideos que habló, que estamos peleando por acceso a las cosas personales, que esas son cosas personales. No estamos peleando contra la propiedad personal, estamos peleando contra la propiedad privada.
Private property is a contractual relationship that grants ownership, the exclusive right to dominate and to make profit off of a specific object to a specific individual or corporation. Private property is a social fiction upheld, made real, by law, by costs and contracts and their consequences, and by social norms. Private property is why houses and apartments can be owned, rented out, and profited off of by people other than those living in them. Private property is how multinational corporations, real estate trusts, shadowy shell companies, and asshole landlords wrap their fingers around the throats of our homes and squeeze our ways of life for profit. Private property, most simply, as society is currently misarranged, is the tool that violently separates people and communities from their places and ways of living. Private property is the force that separates us from our very existence and daily practices. It is private property that infringes upon the people's right to attend to our needs, to live in our homes, to make community, to be full human beings. Now, why this is important today here at a rally targeting the evictor-in-chief is because we as communists and we at Brooklyn Eviction Defense understand that Kathy Hochul, the evictor-in-chief in question, is not the reason why, for example, our neighbor and comrade Fidel has faced harassment and abuse, hasn't had electricity for nearly a whole fucking year. We understand that pushing Hochul is a liberal fantasy, that performing peaceful protests for so-called progressive politicians is not our path to liberation. It is, we know, only through the mass organization of tenants of the working class that our political goals will transform from quiet pleas to demands backed with the full force of the people. Right. We understand, moreover, that it is private property, the state and institutional infrastructures built to sustain it, such as eviction court, that have enabled Fidel's abuse, that enable and actually require the dispossession that we at Brooklyn Eviction Defense daily fight. This is why when we call for the abolition of private property, we are not merely shouting idealistic jargon. To the contrary, this call for the abolition of private property is rooted firmly in our care for our neighbors and our community and our resolve to keep one another safe. The call to abolish private property not only complements the work that we do, but it gives our struggle a higher calling. It gives us clarity in our actions and a horizon toward which we move. That is, an end to the regime of private property, the expropriation of every last landlord, and the onset of socialism and abundance.
Bueno, él dijo bastante. Básicamente uno de los puntos muy importantes que él dijo era que estamos aquí para que no exista propiedad privada y también proteger la propiedad personal. Entonces, como le estaba diciendo, propiedad personal es la cocina, no tenemos la electricidad a las personas que estamos aquí peleando. También él entiende que también Kathy Hochul no es el problema, pero es parte del problema, que ese problema ha estado existiendo mucho más antes que ella tomara medidas. Entonces, ¿cómo nosotros usamos eso para exigirle y demandarle y usar nuestras fuerzas como organizadores radicales que nos beneficia a nuestra comunidad, no que le beneficia a la propiedad privada?
Thank you.